Hey guys, so today we are going to start everyday math lesson 6.3, and we're just looking again at how we are solving our multiplication facts. Remember, we want to keep getting better at our facts. We want to be more fluent with our facts. So we're going to look at these strategies again that we've been going over, and then you will have your home link and math boxes to complete. And then you will play some baseball multiplication to practice your facts. So part of our goal for today is to, if you're in person, you're going to be working with a group and model how to solve the multiplication facts using one of the strategies. But then I am also going to have some time where we're going to be looking at other classmates explaining their multiplication strategies and then recording it on your own fact strategy log. So you're going to be doing this second part. If you're watching this video, you're going to be recording this in your multiplication fact strategy log, and that begins on page 295. So you're going to be looking at page 295, and then it moves through 296, 297, and we're going to be looking at how we solve these problems. So your mental math is quick dots. So you're going to see some dots. I'm going to take them away. You're going to tell me how many dots are in the group. All right, you should have said 16. There are 4 groups of 4, so we can do 4 times 4, or we could see maybe 2 groups of 4, which is 8, and then double that to make 16. Number 2, there are 18 in this one. There were 2 groups of 9, so we would say 9 times 2 equals 18, or if you wanted to think about it, 9 plus 9 is 18. Number 3, there are 12. There were 3 rows of 4, so 3 times 4 is 12. We could have said 4 plus 4 is 8, plus another 4 is 12. All right, so I want you to answer this question, and when you answer this on the EdPuzzle, I want you to tell me which strategy you used. So Evan does not know the answer to 6 times 7. Record on your slate at least 2 different strategies he could use to solve. So think about the strategies we've been working on. What strategy did you use to solve this problem? So there are so many different ways that we could solve this problem. We have making equal groups, drawing a picture showing equal groups. We could skip count by 6s. We could add 6 7 times. What I'm looking at is how can we use some of those other strategies, like could we use add a group to solve this problem? We probably wouldn't use subtract a group. We could use doubling because 6 is an even number, or we could use the break apart strategy where we break 7 into 2 and 5 so that we can multiply those numbers. So we're going to look at solving 6 times 7 with the add a group strategy. So my problem is 6 times 7, and I'm going to go through these steps. And the first step is to find which factor has a number close to the numbers I can count by. Well, I can count by 2s, 5s, 10s. 3s could be a number that I can count by. But the number that I see that is closest is 5s. I'm going to change the 6 to 5 times 7. So instead of having 6 groups of 7, I'm going to have 5 groups of 7. Next, I'm going to create that array and solve that 6 times 7 is 35. So I have my array of 5 rows with 7 in each, and that equals 35. Then I'm going to add a group of 7 because remember, I need 6 groups of 7. So if I already have 5, I'm going to add one more. And I'm going to add 35 plus 7 to equal 42. So this is one way to solve this problem, 6 times 7. Now we're going to look at subtract a group, and 6 times 7 didn't really work with this strategy, so we're going to solve for 9 times 4. And just like with subtract a group, I'm going to look for which factor has a number close to the numbers I can count by, and I'm going to make that helper fact. So I know that 9 is close to 10, so I'm going to have 10 groups of 4 instead of 9 groups of 4 to help me to solve that problem. So I can create the array and solve 10 times 4 equals 40. And then because I don't need 10 groups of 4, I'm going to subtract a group of 4 from the array. And that's going to I'm going to get the answer to my original problem, 9 times 4. So I get rid of that group of 4, one group of 4, and I'm left with 9 groups of 4. 40 minus 4 equals 36. Let's look at doubling. So with doubling, I want to create a rectangle so that we can find the area. So we can think of it as finding the area. And so I have this 6 by 7 rectangle, and I'm going to split the even number in half. So I have a 6 and a 7. I'm going to split the 6 in half because it is even. So I will have the line drawn through the middle of the rectangle, and I will have two groups of 3. So I have one rectangle that will be a 3 by 7 and another rectangle that'll be a 3 by 7. I'm going to write those number sentences for the area of the 2 smaller rectangles in the middle of the box. So I wrote 3 times 7 is 21, 3 times 7 is 21. Then I add the area of those 2 rectangles together. 21 plus 21 equals 42. The next one I have is the break apart strategy. So again, we're going to use the rectangles to help us to solve this by finding the area. The reason that we do this is because area is found by multiplication. So the rectangles give us that visual to see what exactly we're doing. So I have my 6 by 7 rectangle again. Then I break one of the numbers into smaller numbers that you can count by. So I could break 6 into 1 and 5, 2 and 4, 3 and 3. I could break 7 into 1 and 6, 2 plus 5, 3 plus 4, and those would be the different ways I could do this. I want to pick numbers that I'm good at counting by, so I'm breaking my rectangle of 7, my side of 7, into 2 and 5. So I have a 2 by 6 rectangle and a 5 by 6 rectangle. I'm going to write the number sentences for the area of the 2 smaller rectangles. So the first one is 6 times 2 equals 12, and then 6 times 5 equals 30. And then finally, I'm going to add the area of the 2 rectangles together. So I have 12 plus 30 equals 42. All right, so remember, part of your assignment is to do the home link, your math boxes, and then you're going to play some baseball multiplication to practice those at Math Facts.